Hi everyone, hello and welcome. Please like the live stream as you come in. Just waiting for YouTube notification. Come in, guys. Come in, come in, come in, guys. Just waiting on the YouTube countdown. Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. Please like the live stream as it come in, and if you can hear me, please do let me know as well in the comment section. How are you all doing? So just another 20 seconds where we get started. This is going to be a very quick live stream. We're just going to go straight to it, alright? Please like the live stream, guys, as you come in, while YouTube notifies other people or the others to join us. Like the live stream as you come in. I really appreciate it. Like the live stream. Right, so I'm just going to get started and others can join us as they come into the show. So anyway, guys, my name is Webimo. Happy evening, and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 Kaneko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So this video or this live stream is about the incident that happened, and also there are lessons from this story that I would love to share with you guys that I want you guys to listen to. And I'm doing this live stream most importantly because I am a parent, and then I've got young adults as children as well. So in as much as we are all trying in this parenting thing, when it involves our children, we cannot always know what our children do behind closed doors or even when we are not with them. So this story involves a 17-year-old young American boy who unalive himself after falling into the scam or after being scammed by three Nigerian boys. So Nigerian brothers, there are three people, three boys from Nigeria. Two of them are brothers and one is a friend to them. So the two brothers, one is called Samuel Ogoshi, who is 24, and the other brother is called Samson Ogoshi, who is 21. So these two are brothers, and the third person is Ezekiel Roberts. Okay, so what happened? So Jordan Demay is a 17-year-old high school student. So I'm going to read the story to you just as it is on the um, Justice Gov page for the US. So it says that law enforcement urges vigilance as multiple other bias tied to sextortion. So let's Google sextortion. We're going to get there anyway. So the Justice Department today announced that Samuel Ogoshi, 24, and Samson Ogoshi, 21, both of Lagos, Nigeria, were each sentenced to 210 months in prison and 5 years of supervised release for conspiracy to sexually exploit minors. So on the 25th of March 2022, 17-year-old high school student John Demar, his picture is on my thumbnail, is a very handsome young looking boy, okay? And is from Michigan. He unalived himself as a result of this sextortion scheme, which targeted over 100 other victims. So let's define sextortion. And I must say to you guys, this is the first time I'm hearing of this word. Even as I read book rich, this is the first time I'm hearing of this word. So let's define sextortion. So sextortion is a short name for financially motivated sexual extortion. So when you are being extorted financially by obviously via sexual extortion. So It simply means that it is a type of online blackmail where criminals threaten to share sexual pictures, videos, or information about you. They may be trying to take money from you or forcing you to do something else you don't want to. So this goes to people who share their nude images or their nude pictures with people that they think they are comfortable with. And those people might not even necessarily share those images of themselves. Their phones might be hacked, and then this information gets into the hands of the hackers. So in this young boy's case, this was what happened. So let's read the story so we have a full understanding. And I'm going to be sharing some advice as a parent as well, and the advice that has been given on this website for parents and for everybody out there. So these two boys sexually exploited and extorted more than 100 victims. So this young guy is not their only victim, okay, including at least 11 minors. So out of all the people, there were 11 minors out of the 100 people that these Nigerian brothers were, scamming, resulting in the tragic death of 17-year-old high school students. And according to the Attorney General, these sentences should serve as a warning that the perpetrators of online sexual exploitation and extortion cannot escape accountability for their heinous crimes by hiding behind their phones and computers. Okay, the Justice Department find them no matter where they are and will bring them to justice in the United States. Meanwhile, these brothers, they committed this crime while they were in Nigeria. They committed this scam while they are in Nigeria online. But then the US were able to extradite them through the NPF to the US to come and serve their sentence. Okay. So what they said here is that today's sentencing of Samuel and Samson Ogoshi sends a thundering message, said US attorney. To criminals who commit these schemes, you are not immune from justice, regardless. Like just like the where they say they are, you might be a keypad warrior, and you think you are smart because you are doing all these things. If they are going to find you, they will find you. Okay, we will track you down and hold you accountable, even if we have to go halfway around the world to do so. The day when you could commit these crimes, rake in easy cash, destroy lives, and escape justice is gone. And to parents, teenagers, and everyone who uses a cell phone, please be careful. These devices can connect you to criminal networks around the world. Don't assume people are who they say they are. Don't share compromising images. And if you are a victim, please reach out. There's help, law, and enforcement ready. So what actually happened was that these scammers hacked into I want to call him by his name. I don't want to just say called scammed into Jordan's mobile phone. So apparently Jordan was chatting to somebody he thought was a supposed girl that likes him. So while he was chatting this up, so these scammers pretended as if they were a girl that Jordan likes. Obviously, Jordan was chatting this. I am Vivi. How are you? Jordan was chatting this person up, thinking it was a girl, not knowing that they were scammers. So obviously, being a young teenager, you all know how young teenage does. So he must have shared private images of himself, maybe nude images of himself. He sent it to this person whom he thinks was a girl he was chatting with. So when he sent those information to these scamming brothers in Nigeria, they now went onto his Instagram profile. They screenshotted all of maybe details of his friends, his school, and everything. So obviously, he sent all these nude pictures of himself to this person whom he thinks was a girl. And then when these scammer brothers now felt that, oh, they've gotten into him, they now sent him a message asking him for 1,000 US dollars. $1,000. They asked him for $1,000, and they said to him that if he does not give them 1,000 US dollars, that they were going to share the nude images he sent to them. They were going to share it to his friends, to his school, and this Jordan is playing football. He's a 17-year-old in high school. Is at the height of young student, young chaps like that when they start football, start athletics, and that's how they started building themselves up. Is doing well at school, and this scammer said they were going to send those images he sent to them to Jordan. He sent those images to a girl he felt it was chatting to, not knowing he was chatting to scammers. So they told him that if he doesn't send them 1,000 US dollars, that they were going to send these images to his friends, they were going to share it on his Instagram profile, they were going to send it to his school and stuff like that. So a young 17-year-old boy who is in school, sports, his parents were not aware of this thing. Okay, his parents were not aware that he was facing this. So Jordan gathered all he has, All he had was $300, which is sent to these scammers. And they said it was not enough. They were still asking him for more money. 17-year-old boy, what did he do? Where would he get the money from? So, upon sending $300 to these scammers in Nigeria, these boys in Nigeria, they still threatening him that if it's not $1,000 that they were going to release his picture. So, not knowing what else he would do, Jordan carried a gun and unalive himself. Yeah. Jordan unalive himself because he was not able to pay $1,000 to these scammers in Nigeria. So that, I mean, he couldn't stop them because they threatened that if he doesn't give them money, that they were going to share his pictures, his images, just nude pictures to his school. So Jordan unalive himself in his parents' house with a gun. And this is a very, very sad story. A very, very sad story. Okay. So this message is going to those of you who felt that because you are behind the keyboard that nobody can find you. You might have been doing it for a very long time, but one day is for the thief. I mean, every day is for the thief, one day is for the owner. So my condolences go to the family of Jordan, and I pray that God comforts his mom, most especially. May God comfort his mom, to be able to live through this hard and sad tragedy that happened. So I think it wasn't until about 6 hours later, after Jordan unalive himself, that his parents found out the depth of what really happened. And that was when they got the police involved. Vivi said, may God have mercy on us all. Amen. May his mercy speak for our kids always. Amen. 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 So, according to the news on ABC News here, 2 brothers from Nigeria were sentenced. So they found, obviously from the information and from the investigation, they found that these scammers, it was a scam. They found the details of what was happening. And it's too late now. I'm not blaming Jordan in any way. I'm not blaming his parents or anybody. How I wish Jordan was able to open up to his parents. I know obviously he would think that, him sending nude pictures of himself to a supposed girl, that it was not the right thing to do. But, young teenager, hormones, and I'm raising teenagers as well. And at that age, none of them, there's nothing you tell any of them. They will all believe that they know better. Okay, I've got three children who are young adults now. I've got a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, and an 18-year-old. Okay, so it's hard. No parent knows it all. Okay, no parents knows it all. And even though you might think you know everything that your children does, there'll be some things that your children do that you don't know about. So this is not a blaming thing onto Jordan or onto his parents or anything like that. No. How I wish Jordan thought, like, let me speak to my mom, or let me speak to my dad, or let me call the police. But it's so sad that this happened to him. However, like I said, every day is for the thief, but one day is for the owner. So Vivi said, of course, no parents know it. So absolutely. So they investigated this case, and they were able to find out the assailants, the criminals. So who happened to be brothers. 2 of them are brothers, Samuel Ogoshi, who is 24, and Samson Ogoshi, who is 21. So they were sentenced to 210 months. So that would be like maybe 5 years, and they're suspended supervision, so that once they come out of prison, they'll be supervised for another 7 years. So it says here that a federal judge sentenced Samuel and Samson after hearing emotional testimony from the parents and stepmother of Jordan Deme, who was 17 when he unalived himself at his family's home in Michigan Upper Peninsula. The Ogoshi, so both brothers from Lagos, they were extradited to the US. See, when a country where there is law, when they are seeking for justice, they will go to the end of the world, especially when it involves a young life. They will go to the world, to the end of the world, and which is what they did for Jordan, and I must applaud them. So the Ogoshi, these 2 brothers were from Lagos, Nigeria, and they have previously been extradited from Nigeria to stand trial. The brothers pleaded guilty in April to conspiring to sexually exploiting teenage boys. So Jordan was not their only victim. They said out of 100, so there were evidence of other 100 people that these boys have been exploiting, and out of the 100, 11 of them were minors, Jordan included. Can you imagine? 11 of them were minors. And Vivi said, great thing that the wheels of justice are turning. Absolutely. And I love the fact that the Nigerian police helped them in extraditing these boys. Okay. So these boys pled guilty in April and to exploiting teenagers. They were accused of running an international sextortion ring in which they posed as a woman. That's what they do. They posed as a woman, which was how they were able to get into Jordan. A scheme which resulted in delays in Jordan's March 2022. So this incident happened in 2022. Jordan unalive himself in 2022. The siblings, the Nigerian brothers, were accused of inducing Jordan to send a NAKED picture of himself and then started taking money or asking money off him. Federal prosecutors said the sextortion schemes targeted more than 100 people, including the maid. So in the sentencing of Samuel and Samson, it was done to send a very, very thundering messages to the world. So the US attorney said that to criminals who commit these crimes, you are not immune from justice. We will track you down and hold you accountable, even if we have to go halfway around the world to do so. Yeah, they went to Nigeria, extradited them from Nigeria to the US to come and serve their jail time. And those boys, may God help them, because US jails, when we have seen movies, US jails is not for the faint-hearted. If they come out alive, they will do Thanksgiving. If they come out alive, because if the people in prison found out what they did, their life is in God's hands in prison. So the US went all the way. They went halfway through the world to extradite them, because after all, they pled guilty and they brought them to the US to come and serve their jail time. So sexual extortion involves persuading a person to send explicit photos online and they're threatening to make the images public unless the victim pays money or engage in sexual favor. So sometimes the people who is extorting them might ask for money, and sometimes they might not ask for money, they might ask for another favor. The offense has a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison and a maximum penalty of 30 years. Please like this live stream, guys. There's 35 of you watching me. Like this live stream, guys. So the US district judge, who also sentenced the Ogoyis to 5 years of supervision. So once they get released from prison, they'll be supervised for 5 years. Everywhere they go, they'll probably have this ankle thingy in their wrist or on their ankle, which means that everywhere they go, they'll be monitored. The offense said it will decide what restitution the brothers must make once it receives additional information. So before sentencing the brothers, the junker said the case called for longer sentence. He said both the defendants had shown a callous disregard for life, while noting that the siblings had continued their sextortion scams even after learning that, oh my God. So these two brothers continue scamming people even when they know that they may unalive himself. So they know at some point, they read the news that they may bite himself, and these two brothers continued in what they were doing. They did not even think that, oh, somebody has taken his life because of the things they were doing to him. They did not even, because of that, stop and change their ways. No, they continued. So the continuation of the overall scheme, even after there was certain knowledge that one individual, the individual in this case, took his own life, points to the need of high sentence. The judge said during Osam Oga. So I would even say they are quite lucky that the judge did not sentence them to life imprisonment, or did not even sentence them to go and did not even sentence them to they should go and buy them. They are so lucky that they did not have to get that from the judge. Exactly, they were so wicked, so inhumane. You did that to a young boy, and then you found out that he pied himself. You will have thought that would make them say, oh no, let's not do this anymore. But they still continued. They continued in doing what they do, knowing that their actions cost a 17-year-old boy his life. Over how much? $1,000. So the May's mother, Jennifer Butter, told the court during Samuel Ogoshi's sentencing that their son's death had left her shattered to the core. I can't imagine what that mother is going through. Infuriated and trapped in grief, she said that the last text her son sent her was, in quote, "Mother, I love you." That was the last message Jordan sent to his mom before he unalived himself. A text she awoke to and thought was endearing until she learned that Jordan had unalive himself in his bedroom, in his own bedroom. That was where Jordan took his life. It's a very, very sad instance. It's a very sad story. So it's sad. So it's sad. So like I said in the beginning, that these guys, there were three of them. Okay, there were three of them. The other one is called, let me find his name. His name is Ezekiel Roberts. So that one is still fighting extradition in the Nigeria. He's fighting so that they don't bring him to the US. His case is still on trial in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, if they were able to extradite these two wicked brothers, they would definitely extradite him as well. They will extradite him as well. And they go on here to say that his father told the court that he is haunted by the image of his son laying on his bed with a gunshot wound to his head. Oh my God, I just can't imagine what they will be going through. This is a very, very sad thing. And you can imagine how desperate some people can be as young as they are, 28, 21 and 24. At such age, they did not have parents to train them that you need to go get a job. Even if they don't want to go to school, fine, learn a trade. Learn a trade. If they were able to get money to be able to afford a laptop to continue in such crime, they can as well educate themselves, learn some sort of skills online. But they refuse to do that. They went online scamming people. Jordan is the only life we know that ended in the hands of these wicked Nigerian boys. We don't know of any other ones. Maybe there might even be more. Maybe there might even be more. It's so sad. And it starts said in quote, Jordan was an amazing young man. He's a very young, handsome looking boy. He was resilient, he was smart, he was educated, he was an athlete. He was an only son. An only son. I don't know, maybe that was the only son to his dad, but it was an only son to his dad. And you got to talk to him for the last time in his life. That's horrifying. That was what his dad said. It's so sad. They said that the attorney for the two brothers said during the sentence that our clients are very, I don't think they are remorseful, because if they were remorseful, they wouldn't have continued in what they were doing when they found out that Jordan unalive himself. They were not remorseful. And that he was 18 when he began taking part in extortion and scam attempts. He was 18 and he knows better that what he was doing was not the right way to go. His mates are going to school, even though if he doesn't want to go to school, he could learn a trade. He could learn a trade. He could do something. But then they were looking for fast money, and that is what there are many more young Nigerian boys who are into this online scamming thing. And I wish there's a way that this could be eradicated in Nigeria as well. I wish there's a way they could be eradicated, because this is just the ones we know now. How many more is it out there that we don't know about? It's so sad. So these boys have been sentenced to court. I mean, they've been sentenced to jail. I believe they're going to be spending about 7 years or something in jail. And afterwards, they are going to be supervised for another 5 years. And I'm praying that once they finish serving their sentence, they should be deported back to Nigeria. Let them go and continue their suffer head there. Because it would not be fair on the family of Jordan that these boys finish their courts, they finish their prison dates, they come out and they get to live the good life in the US. It would not be fair if they continue living their life in the US after their sentence. I pray they get deported back to Nigeria. And the third one that I say fighting extradition, trust me, they will extradite him. They will extradite him. Scam is not the way to go. There are many more ways you could make money. If you're not lazy, if your ways are pure, there are many more ways to make money. But scam is definitely not the way to go. So here is an advice. Like I said, this is going to be a very quick live stream, half an hour, because I want people to be able to watch this live stream back. So on the justice website here, they've given advice, and I believe this advice is for victims. You might be a victim of scamming or something similar to this thing that happened to Jordan. This advice here is for you. This advice is also for young teenagers. If you're a young teenager or you have a young teenager as kids, please forward this video to them. Okay, this is a young fulfilling life. He was an athlete, a young 17-year-old boy whose life was taken, or who took his life. I would say his life was taken because it was the action of these brothers from Nigeria that cost him his life. A parent had to mourn him. Over how much? $1,000. Just because of money. Your hands are working, you're not disabled, you have two functional hands, you have two eyes, you have two legs, and you cannot go get a bloody job. Hide the human chapter. It's evil. Evil in all ramification. And knowing that what they did cost that young boy his life, they continued in what they were doing. They did not think that, God, life has been taken through what we are doing. Let's stop doing this. No, they still continued. Vivi said it can never happen. They are not even US citizens. Even in UK, any immigrant caught in serious crime is extradited soon after they complete their sentence. I pray so. Because at the end of the day, that's when they will not come and go and start taking advice of one lawyer, saying, okay, they were in jail for 7 years, and then they've been here for another 5. That's 12 years. We should be able to stay. I hope no immigration law allows them stay. They should be taken back to Nigeria. Let them continue their suffer ahead there. Let them continue their suffer ahead there. And no, parenting is difficult. The parenting is not easy. Me that I'm sitting here that I've got 5 children, you might think that, how are you doing it? Come, I don't have any dictionary. I don't have any book that is helping me. I am just taking each day as it comes. I'm just taking each day as comes to be a bad influence. So I really don't like my daughter moving with her. They don't move as friends, they don't move about. The only reason why they started moving up, maybe move together, is because we have a cat. We have a cat. So this girl upstairs has maybe 3 cats. So she only just take our cat up there so that so that our cat has a companion. That was how they get to know. But I don't even know how she was able to even infiltrate my daughter. Talk her that they should go into city center. And then my daughter like, Mom, I want to go to the center to go and drop a CV. That was what my daughter told me. Not knowing that she was going with this girl into city center. So whatever it is that this girl told her, this girl told, I am Romokaru. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your way. I'm so sorry. I don't mean it in a bad way. I hope I've pronounced it. It's Romokaru. I hope I pronounced it well. So as I was saying, my oldest daughter, right? Okay, I gave birth to her in Nigeria, and she's the only one who is different amongst my other kids that I gave birth to here in Scotland. So she was about 9 months old when we relocated abroad. So I gave birth to her in Nigeria. My other 4 kids, I had them here in the United Kingdom. She's the one with a different attitude, which means that there's nothing you say to her, she know they listen. So she went with this girl to town. I don't know whatever it is that girl must have said to her. My girl went into an Apple store, took out a contract mobile phone, not knowing that this other girl, has already conversed with other boys that she moves with to come and meet them in town. So obviously my daughter went into Apple store. She has a good credit store, so she was able to get an Apple, like a latest Apple phone as a contract, worked out with it, paid, gave her details and everything. So while she was outside chatting with this girl, those 2 boys approached them. Mind you, my daughter do not know those boys. And these people, they are from, I can't remember, maybe they are some, I can't remember where they came from. Maybe they're from, they're like Muslims and they cover their head. I can't remember where they are from. Okay, they are not Eastern Europe, but they're some like African Asian place like that. So these boys approached my daughter and this girl. And while they were talking, they snatched the phone off my daughter and ran. I don't know how my daughter was able to figure out that that girl knows those boys, okay? But eventually, along the line, she found out that the girl, who is our neighbor, who she would normally take our cats to, knew those boys. So I was generally here, minding my business, doing my my studying at home. It was my day off. And my daughter came in. Mommy, mom. I was like, what? I think I've done something stupid. Mommy, what did you do? I asked her, what did you do? She told me, she mentioned the name of the girl. We went to town. This is that. Immediately she told me that. I was like, but you told me you were going to town to go and drop a CV. How did you telling me that you are going to town to go and drop a CV led to you going with the girl upstairs, led to you going to an Apple store to go and take an Apple phone, led to you talking to her in town and the phone was snatched off you? At that moment, I felt like grabbing her and giving her the beating of her life. But I don't want to do that because you know what? She's a young adult. She could call the police on me. Yeah. I mean, this was this year and she's 20. In fact, I would say she's my only child who doesn't have streetwise. She's not streetwise. She's not streetwise. She's the only one out of my kids that is not streetwise. So immediately she told me that my head just did bang 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 bang, like my own child. How can a child that a lion gave birth to be acting the way this girl, like I was so mad. Like, look at your mom now. Nobody can take me for a ride. How can somebody take you for a ride? That was the anger I felt. And I felt like grabbing her close to me and giving her a good beating. Like, how dumb can you be? I kept my cool. And I was like, okay, now you're going to take yourself to the police station and go and report it. That's the only advice I could give her. That was the only advice I could give her. So I told her, I'm not dropping you because you took your 2 legs to go with your friend to that girl, because they are really not friends. I would say neighbors, okay? So they are on the 15th floor or something. And it was because we have a cat and they have like 3 to 4 cats. So we often just take the cat there just for, So I'm like, okay, that you see what I've been saying to you now. If you listen to your parents, none of this will have happened. You told me you want to go and drop a CV in town. How did you end up going to be that girl, to go into an Apple store? Like, you lied to me, your mom. You lied to me. So I told her, I'm not going with you. Find your way to the police station. So she went to the police station, filed a report. The police said they were going to investigate. So along the line, it came across that, yeah, this girl knew the boys. They were able to find out the details. So me, I was raging. I wanted to go up and meet the mother, but I was like, I've heard several instances of this girl's mother not really caring what that girl does. Like how this girl moves with different boys, do all sort of things with the boys. And I was like, you know what, that is one reason why I don't even want my daughter to move around with her. So the police investigated and it took them about 4 weeks. So my daughter, they were like, no, because at the end of the day, you took a contract which is about 2 years. If you're going to go to an Apple store to buy a brand new Apple phone, you cost about maybe 1,400 or something. So you now took it out on a contract and like paying monthly. For the fact that somebody stole it off you, nothing concerns Apple. You pay, it's either you have the money and pay off that money as if you are buying it, or you continue paying the monthly pay by direct debits. So now that she doesn't have the phone, she doesn't have the whereabouts. So she reported the case and the police advised her on what to do. So they were like, okay, they gave her a crime number and they said she should go back to Apple store, report the incident to Apple store and give them the crime number that the police gave her to say that she has reported the case and that the police are investigating. So eventually they investigated the case. They found the details of the boy. Can you imagine? They said those boys came from maybe Manchester. And that at some point the police found out that those boys were involved in other cases similar to what my daughter was put into. So eventually the police investigated the case. My daughter was not found. They warned her, like, what, don't ever let anybody do that to you anymore. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, I'm going to the store and get me a contract phone. No, don't. So they advised, and I want to pray that she had learned a lesson. So eventually she did not have to pay anything. I think the first payment, obviously because they already took off the phone direct debit, so they took out the direct debit of £26 something. So by the time the police investigated, they wrote a report and sent it to Apple store. Apple declared the phone as that it was stolen and stuff like that. So my daughter was refunded at £26, and that was that. So she learned a lesson. I want to hope that she learned a lesson. So even as a parent, even how I keep telling her that don't ever go anywhere with anybody, don't let any friend tell you this, don't, I keep saying that as a parent, but it's only God that can enter into the minds of our children to make them listen to us. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, now you've made that mess now. If I say anything, oh, mom, I'm an adult. Mom, I'm an adult. In as much as what she did upset me, I was so mad at her that I was like, I would just maybe lie to her that we are going on holiday to Nigeria. Take her to Nigeria, abandon her with my parents, and come back. I've thought about several times. Yeah, I've thought about that several times. I know I would just say, yeah, daughter, first daughter or child number one, let's go on holiday to Nigeria. Take her on holiday to Nigeria. After 3 weeks, I will just tell her that, oh, I'm coming, I want to go to the shop. I will find my way back to Glasgow, and I'll text her that that's where you're going to stay. You're not coming back home until you learn the hard way. Because she's not streetwise. As compared to my other 4 kids, those ones, you will try harder. You will have to try really hard to get through to them. But this older one, maybe because she's a first child, she's soft-spoken. She's soft-spoken. When you look at her, you're like, oh no, she's a, but I wish she's streetwise, because look at me, the mama now. Vivi said, very true. It's only God that can guide them out there. Absolutely. That's why I know. I always pray to God that God, these kids, I don't know what they are doing. I don't know everything. I'm trying my best as a parent to get through to them. And now that she's a young adult. Like, in fact, she's not even the only one. My other ones, even when you're trying to correct them at home, do this house chore, they will be asking, why do they have to do it? When I'm like, why should I have 3 adults in the house and I'll have to still cook for you, and then you not come and be helping in the kitchen, stuff like that. But I just pray from that experience that I pray that she has learned. Big M, please don't do that. If you know how many years I've been thinking it, but I've wondered now, if you mess up again, Nigeria, felele, hairpiece, felele to Lagos straight, go and learn Nigeria way for a year. Maybe after 1 year, if I get good feedback, you'll be back. I'll be happy to allow you back. So what am I saying in essence? I'm saying in essence that even as a parent, we are doing all our best. We don't know it all. We don't know it all. And also, if you're a teenager watching me, if you're a young adult watching me, your parents want the best for you. Your parents cannot mislead you. At times, my kids are like, oh mom, I'm always shouting, like, do this, do that. I'm not just shouting for the sake of me shouting. It's because I want the best for you. Vivi said, it's just a personality. They are all different, just like us adults. We have different exactly, yes. So we as parents, we are trying our best. No parent knows it all. No parent knows it all. At times when I talk to my colleagues about you've got young adults, I'm like, come, I'm just taking each day as it comes. It's not maybe I have a formula in which I'm using to, that me and my husband are using to raise our kids. No, we don't have a formula. We just go, through it as day by day. Okay. So now I'm going to read the advice here as given by the FBI. So like I said, if you're a young adult, if you're a young teenager, or if you're a victim of, extortion, in any form of extortion, I want you to listen to this and maybe act towards it, and hopefully you'll be able to, find yourself way out there. And if at any time anybody say, do this, if you don't do this, I will do this, please don't keep quiet. Speak up to somebody else. You've not done anything wrong. If you've actually maybe got yourself involved, like maybe you send pictures to somebody and you think, oh, you should have done it, you've not done anything wrong. You've not done ill. It is a person who is trying to extort money from you. It's somebody who's trying to use somebody you've sent with the hope that you are talking to somebody that you know. They are the ones with the issue. You are not the one with the issue. Big M said, your first daughter has a God-fearing heart and a beautiful. Oh, thank you. Well, I didn't see it that way. I was just like, she just want to be one of those child with, a little akpa, child that you talk to, that you just keep talking, that whatever it is that they want to do is what they do. So since then, I've just said to her that, what, your parents are your next point of contact. Anything at all, no matter how huge you think it is, your parents should be your first point of contact. And if you think, oh, you can't speak to your parents, your other siblings, like there have been times where our younger siblings, they've messed up because they don't want to come to me. They will actually discuss it among themselves. So any of my other child will now come out, hey mom, I want to tell you something. I'm like, what is it? It's what Maria did this. They will know, they will speak to one another. So there was time my youngest one, I don't know what happened. So she was terrified that maybe I'm gonna maybe spank her or something. So she spoke to my second oldest daughter, and my second oldest daughter came to me and said, "Oh, mom, by the way, I want to speak to you. Maria told me this, Maria told me that." And I'm like, go and call her for me. But I was not mad, but I was happy at the fact that she even spoke to her other siblings. So no matter what we might be going through, you might think, oh, it's a huge, please don't feel like, oh, you've done the worst. Speak up to people. Speak out. Speak out. So here we have been advised that be very, very selective about what you share online. So this is advice and tips for parents and for everybody out there, because nowadays now we see the way there's drama all over social media about content creators saying that, oh, don't talk about me, don't talk about me, don't talk about me. The thing is that if you share things on social media, people will dissect it. Like any information you put, see the way I've just shared information about what my daughter did now. I've shared that information, but what is my reason behind it? My reason is so that others could learn, and then anybody else who's listening to me could use that story to serve as a learning example for other people. But if you've come here to share information about yourself that maybe at the end of the day it was not relevant, and people decide to make content out of it, you can't control how they dissect that information because you've dropped it already. And then people can dissect that information as it's become public property. Oh, don't talk about me, don't talk about me, don't talk about me. You can't control people's narrative about what you've willingly dropped on social media, regardless of how or what your intentions are with the information you've dropped. Big M says she is the light of your household. Amen. Thank you so much for that. So it says here that be selective about what you share online. If your social media accounts are open to everyone, a predator may be able to figure out a lot of information about you. Obviously, if you're not seeking job online, if you're not maybe seeking some opportunities online, maybe put your page on private or make a certain information about yourself that you share online available to a handful of people that you really want them to know about you. Maybe your name, don't put where you work, don't even put your interests, or maybe make up a fake interest, like maybe just make a mock-up profile rather than what you actually do personally. Because nowadays I know most people use social media for content and stuff like, but if you're not actually using social media for content to make money or to reach out to people, you shouldn't really be putting a lot of things that will mean that if anybody gets your information, it could be maybe damaging for you. So that's advice number one. Advice number two is be very, very wary of anyone you encounter for the first time online. Yes, be very, very careful about whoever you encounter online. Look at the case of Selena and Afiba. You all know the case of Selena and Afiba. Look at the case of Selena and Afiba. How did Andrew Ocheko get across to them? I believe they met online. Rachel, who is a victim of Andrew Ocheko, how did she meet Andrew? Online. Andrew came across as somebody who's wanting love, relationship, and then Rachel saw him as, oh, eligible bachelor, and she fell into his trap. God saved her that she escaped. He could have done worse to her. So be very, very careful about whom you are meeting online. Don't divulge information about yourself. If they ask you to share things with them, sorry, no, it can't happen. In fact, if they start asking you to share information that you don't feel comfortable about, block them straight away. If you have their true ID, report them straight away. So it says here that be very, very careful of anyone you encounter for the first time online. Block or ignore messages from strangers. My Facebook account is obviously open. I don't think it's open because people will still have to send me a friend request. So if I don't accept their friend request, they can't really say anything about me. There are hundreds of messages on my Facebook DM of people that I don't even know. Hi, hello beautiful, hello honey, you're beautiful, hello pretty, I would like to know you. And I'm like, I just don't bother. You can do the same as well. Number three, be aware that people can pretend to be anything or anyone online. Yes, I have got a lot of emails now in my personal email that is attached to my channel asking me about asylum, seeking advice, and I'm like looking at their usernames and I'm like, no, I'm not going to reply to these emails. Because if you're going to send me email, your first name, your last name has to be hi Joel, your last name, your first name, the email they were using to email me does not look like a genuine email. So if you're one of those people that have emailed me, I'm sorry that I've not replied, but I just don't find your email. No. So I won't be replying those emails. If immediately I read them and I see the way the email came and the kind of name, I just deleted the messages because I'm like, no, I'm not replying any of these messages. And the ones that came to me via DM on Instagram, I just sent them the link. Okay, you want to find out about asylum? This is the link. It tells you how to claim asylum in the UK. That's all I owe you. That's all I'm telling you. If I don't necessarily know you, like know you, I don't think I'm ready to divulge any information like that. Besides, information like that's available online anyway. So videos and photos are not proof that people are who they claim to be. There was a time I was on Instagram. I was new to Instagram. So somebody followed me. It was this Nollywood guy. I can't remember his name. It's very, very fair in complexion, young and smart. So that person sent me followed me on Instagram. Obviously, I was new. I just started using Instagram, and then sent me a still image of him, like as if he was in a chair on a chair, like So there's a way. I don't know how they did that video. And this person was like, oh, this so this person has been chatting me like, who is this person? We were like asking me for my picture, where am I located, this. I'm like, why is this person asking me for my picture? Obviously I've got a picture on my Instagram profile. Why is he asking me for my picture? And then I was like, I was not replying, but I was like, okay, you send me a picture of yours first. He now sent me like a video of this a still video of this Nollywood actor. And then I laughed and I went to go and look at I can't remember the name of it. This was years ago. I can't remember the name of the Nollywood actor now. And I was like, this doesn't look real. I mean, I studied IT, so nobody can take me as a mugu. So I now went to go and look for the image of the guy, and I found it that his official Instagram handle is different from the handle that this person has sent me an image from. So that was when I was like, oh, don't even give chance to this person. And then he was like, oh, by the way, I need to buy so can you quickly borrow me 125,000 naira? I just gave him blocking straight away. Hi Joel, hi Carlos. Please like this live stream, guys. So videos and photos are not proof that people are who they claim to be. Images can be altered or stolen. Yes, like an example of that story of the person that DM'd me on Instagram asking me that, oh, send me a picture. I'm like, no. In some cases, predators have even taken over the social media accounts of their victims. Yes, which means that you will not be able to log into your account. And I think this is happening in case of WhatsApp. We've seen cases of people saying that, oh, my WhatsApp has been hacked and people have been using my name to ask for money. These are examples of things like that. Number 4, be very, very suspicious if you meet someone on one game or app and the person asks you to start talking on a different platform. So maybe you meet that person, maybe you're on a dating app or something. And from there, they felt like, oh, they've known you that well, and they're like, oh, can we move on to WhatsApp? Or can we start chatting on your personal? They are trying to take you away from that platform they met you originally. Be sure that that person is scam and don't condone it. Okay? If you meet someone on a chatting on a dating website, and then they're like, oh, let's go on to another platform. This is my username here. This is that. Don't fall for it. If they can't continue chatting with you on that platform they meet you, don't take that conversation anywhere else. Number 5, be in the know. Any content you create online, whether it is a text message, photo, or video, can be made public. Okay? And nothing actually disappears online. So what they are trying to say, that whatever you put out here on social media, as long as you've made it public, it will remain public for life. Big M said the internet or social media is like an ocean. You don't know what type of fish will catch, e.g. shark. You're absolutely right, Big M. Absolutely right. So this is what this one is saying here. Anything you put out there, post, photo, video, whatever it is, can be made public, and nothing actually disappears online. No, nothing ever disappears. Once you send something, you don't have control over where it goes next. Hence why I said earlier on about all this drama that has been happening among all these reactors about don't share me, don't talk about me. You've dropped all this information on the social media. So what does it matter if anybody now use that content what does it matter if that person now use that thing you said about yourself and they react and they dissect it? Why are you upset? Why? Because just like I said, anything you drop on social media is like an egg. If you drop an egg, it cracks, you can't pack it up. You can't control people's opinion or narrative about what they decide to use the information you've dropped yourself. Just like I said, just like I shared the story of my daughter there, is a story I've shared with the intention of making people out there learn. But some people might tend to make use of it in a different way. And either use in a good way or in a bad way. Or some might even come out tomorrow and use it to come and start, shading me. But my intention of sharing it is to make it a learning curve for some people, for some young adults out there. And also, we should be selective about the information we share online. If you don't want people to know things about you, don't share it. Don't share it. Lastly, be willing to ask for help. This is a very big one. Be willing to ask for help. Don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet. If you are getting messages or requests online that don't seem right, block the sender. Report the behavior to the site administrator. You know how on Facebook there's a way you can report a post, on YouTube the way you can report a video, on Instagram if somebody offends you or maybe their comment was insulting or something, there's a way you can do so. Report it. Report such page. Or go to an adult, and this is talking to young teenagers now. Go to an adult. You might not want to speak to your parents. You will have uncles, you will have aunties, even a teacher at your school. Speak to them. They might just maybe be able to find a way around to speak to your parents, or maybe they might even be the ones who will call the police and then set the police in motion to investigate what was happening or what's happening. Don't keep quiet about it. We are humans and we are liable to make mistakes. And there's nobody in this world who will tell me that they've never ever made a mistake in their life, because at the end of the day, mistake is the best teacher you can ever have. Being a victim of sextortion is not your fault. Yes. Jordan, wherever you are watching me, I know you've gained your angel wings. You were not in any fault. You were a child. You were a child and you were robbed of your adulthood. You were robbed of the good things, God has emotion for you. And I'm so sorry this happened to you. So, Dime Jordan, you were not wrong in any way. You were just doing what every young person who's growing up will do. And to them, they just know best. To them, that's just the right thing to do. So, there are people, like I said, it's not your fault, okay? And if there's any of you watching me, you got a good you got a good topic today, beautifully. Thank you, I am Divine. So, if you're you're a young teenager, young adult, or you are a victim right now, and somebody is extorting you, whatever it is they might be extorting you with, whatever it is they might have on you, please don't keep quiet. Do not even think of doing any harm to yourself. Do not even think about it. Speak to somebody. Okay? Please speak to somebody. You only come into this life once. And you live it once. Sam Onyeke, Nigeria, are you married and where are you streaming? Happily married with 5 beautiful kids. So speak to someone. Don't keep quiet. In as much as I'm praying every day that I know I want to be much more closer to my kids, I want them to be able to come to me and tell me anything at any time. And also, if you're a young child watching it, or if you're a young teenager out there, you have to know that it hurts your parents at times when you don't come to them, when you are experiencing something. Because as a young child, you should not be letting any instances or any situation get to you. If there's anything on your mind that is weighing you down, your parents are the next point of contact for you. Your parents are the next point of contact for you. God forbid anything happens today, your parents will be whoever will be called. And this, what I'm saying here, I say this to my children every day. I say this to my children every day. Like, you know what, guys, I'm open. Nothing's going to happen to any of you. Nothing's going to happen to me. But Just as I can't see everything you do, I leave home 6:45 in the morning to go to work. All leave home to go to school at 8 o'clock. I don't know what you guys are doing at home by 8 o'clock because I already left home. But should anything be going on, you've got me, you've got your dad, your parents should be your next point of call. You should be able to approach your parents. No matter how you think the situation is. Your parents, there's no way a parent will say they don't like that. They say, oh, I don't like my child, I don't like, or my child is always doing this, and then wish something bad to happen to their children. No matter how you think that thing is, your parents will never discard you and say, oh, no, 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 why did you do that? No, they will not do that. Yes, they might be upset. Do you guys know how many times I've opened this my eyes? When I'm screaming like, how did that happen? I expect you to come speak to me. Do you know how many times? And it's going to keep continuing as long as you have children. As long as you have children, people will say, oh, the older children get, or then that's you as a parent, you won't have any. No, it does not. Me that I've got 5 years, the youngest is 12 years old, my oldest is 20 years old. I am still shouting tomorrow. Is it the shout that I am in the kitchen cooking and you are all in your room pressing your phone? That alone is upsetting me, because when my mother was raising me up, they don't born you well. Your mother in the kitchen and you are sitting down there, you are not beside her, because if you need a spoon, she will call you to bring, even if the spoon is just beside her there, she will call you to come and give her the spoon. Dixon said, "Good evening. What's someone that is orphan?" Dixon, for someone who is an orphan, there will be somebody in that community that has your best interest at heart. Where you live, there will be somebody who will always check up on you. You might not have observed it, but start observing it. You'll probably be living among some people, and there will be somebody, or maybe a family around you, or a particular person who will maybe just take an interest in you. But then, if that thing is eating you up, feel free to approach any adult in your community where you live. I hope that answers your question, Sunday. Feel free to speak to people. I mean, you got friends? If that person has friends, approach that friend. That friend might just be able to speak to his own parents to say, mom, dad, this is what my friend told me today. And if those parents are good parents, if God puts it in their hearts, they might just step up and stand up for you and say, oh, my child, what is going on? Speak to us. My daughter has a friend. I'm going to close because I don't want her to hear me because she's here. My daughter has a friend. She's not a Nigerian. Okay, they met while they were in high school. She would come to us. I don't really know the story about this girl, but I know that my daughter was very, very close to her. She would bring her home. And this girl, she's in the care system, which means that she's not living with her parents. It's the council that is looking after her. So if she needs to go to school, she needs to make her hair, there will always be an adult that goes everywhere with her. So if you know what I mean by when a child is in the care system in the UK. So, she will come here. I don't want to push like ask her like, oh, how about your parents? My daughter has told me a few things about why she's not with her parents and stuff like that, and I've not pushed, but I'm happy for her. She comes here. I'm happy seeing her with my daughter, and they complement each other well. They went to the same high school together. They were in the same class. They've both finished now. My daughter is in uni. She's at college. They are doing fine. Good. I mean, they've just come out from shopping and they went to town. There's been time when she was having an issue in the accommodation where she was staying. I was ready to stand up, like call the council and say, no, this has to stop. I am stepping in for this child. She's turning 18. So this incident happened 2 years ago. She's turning 18. And I'm going to step in as a guardian for her. But then I remember I contacted a few people, like, no, how do we go about a situation whereby there's a young teenager who's about to turn adult in the care system, but so many things have been happening, and the council doesn't seem to be doing anything because the other children she's living in it's like a hostel, so she has her own bedroom and stuff like that, and there are other children there. So the other children happens to be like maybe white and stuff like that. So there are several instances. She just called about 12 midnight that day, crying, and my daughter was like, "Oh, mom, can I ask?" I'm like, "Yeah, ask her to come." I was like, "No, we should go pick her." So I drove to go collect her, and I was like, "No, stay for as long as you want to stay." And I was so adamant that she's not going to go back to that care system home, to the flat that they gave her. So I was texting a couple of people that I like, do you know anybody in the social work department who can advise me? I really need to step in for this girl. And then I asked her that, do you want me to step in? Because when I stay happened, she called the police. The police came here. They questioned her. They asked how we were to her. I'm like, she's my daughter's friend. Because I was ready to step in for her. She's a female child. She's a female child. So this happened 2 years ago. She's 19 now. A young adult. She's able to do her own thing. I've said to her that, are you planning on moving out of that place so you can have your own flat? You're not sharing with anybody, so you have your privacy. You can come in as you want, buy your own food. You're not sharing fridge. You're not sharing anything with anybody. You have your own flat. And she's like, Auntie, I'm almost there. I'm working towards it. I've seen a few properties. I'm just waiting till I can move. And I'm super happy. She's right here. She comes here every day. She's a very calm girl as well. So I would do that 120 times over if I see a child whom I felt like needs the presence of an adult or the presence of a guardian for her. I will do it 100%. So Sunday, I hope this answers your question. I'm sure this person, if maybe you are the person or maybe you know somebody, that person will have a friend. Speak to that your friend, and God, that child might just go home and speak to his or her own parents and say, oh, this is what my friend said. And God, if they are good parents, God might just put it in their hand to step in and ask you, like, oh, what is the situation? How can we help? God, that is what I will do. From this example that I've just shared, that is what I will do. That's what I will do. So anybody who's out there being extorted, if you think somebody's trying to scam you, extort you, please don't keep quiet. Speak to somebody. If you're in the UK, call the police or walk into the nearest police station. Okay? It's so sad that this had to happen to Jordan. It's so sad that his parents are going through what they are going right now, and I only pray that only God that can comfort them. And those two boys, I hope they serve their prison time. I hope after serving their prison time, they get sent back in a duffel. They give them maybe give them 2 clothes, send them back to Nigeria. And the third one, I pray the extradition falls through. Let him come here to serve his jail time. After then, they send him back home. And like I said, only God will help them, because American jail is not for the faint-hearted. American jail is not for the faint-hearted. The big game said, Almighty God bless her. Amen. God bless you too. So guys, I just thought I would come here because I read that story and I could just his images just keeps it seems as if I'm seeing him every now and then, because his beautiful smile, in him in his athlete outfit, he's a very young, happy, handsome boy. It's so sad that they had to go that way. Anyway, guys, this is the end of my live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've been watching my channel and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? If there's any topic at all that you want me to discuss on this live stream, please, you can send me a DM on my Instagram. My Instagram is the same name as my YouTube channel. You can DM me if there's anything you want me to come chat with you here. And also support my channel. I am not rich. I can see somebody there asking me to send £400. Maybe you should support me. Give me super chat now. Give me super chat of £50. Give me super chat of £50. You're asking me to send you £400. How much is my salary as a nurse, that you're asking me to send you £400? So you can support my channel by super chatting me. I've got a shop where I sell jumpers, t-shirts, bags, thermal cups. You can buy that way as well. You can support my channel through that way. And please share this video, okay? Let many more people watch this. Share it to people. Let them learn. Okay, and those of us who have children, may God always help us, because parenting, like I'm telling you, parenting is not easy. And at times when I look at the things my kids do at times, I'm like, was I ever like this when my parents were raising me up? I don't think I was a difficult child to raise. I don't think so. I just subscribed. Thank you so much, Big Frida, you are laughing. Because at times when my kids show me Pepe, like when they are getting on my nerves, I often think, like, I sit down, like, was I ever a difficult child to be raised by was I ever difficult to raise? Like, I often ask my mom that, like, Mama, was I a difficult child? And she's like, oh no, you are not. Oh, I'm like, thank God, but why are my kids giving me a hard time? No, I was still speaking to my mom yesterday. If you have a good child, parenting is easy. Who tell you? Well, not maybe they are good most of the time, but with that one time when they show you shaggy, you'll be like, is this not the child I am raising? At least I don't have a child who will go out and fight. I don't have such child. I don't have a child who will go out and take whatever does not belong to you. I don't have such. Even as I'm talking to you now, if I buy anything there, my kids will still come and ask me, Mom, can I have this? Even at their age, they'll still come and ask me, Mom, can I have this? Can I have this? I thought I would ask before I eat it in case you want to have it. They still ask me. And there was a time my mom was visiting and she noticed that among my kids, unlike some kids, if they want to eat anything, they will just go eat. No, my kids will still come and ask, like, Mom, can I have this for lunch? Mom, can I take a cup of this? Mom, can I take a can of Coke? They will come and ask me. And which in a way I don't expect them to, but they still come to ask me. When my mom was visiting, she was like, why are your kids asking you? I'm like, Mom, please let them, because if you allow them, the food that is meant to last for a week, they will eat it in a day. So I guess that's how I raised them up, and it's remained with them. So even if I'm cooking at times, if up until when I told my oldest to that come. So my two older kids, they upset me about a week and a half ago. Thank you, Casey, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, absolutely, thank you. I really appreciate that. So another story to let you know that parenting is not easy. So my two older kids, they are girls, 19 and 20. I was in the kitchen cooking correct. What was I cooking that day? I think I was cooking oxtail with plantain as a pepper soup sauce. So while I was kitchen, I like to clean as I go. I don't like using napkins when I'm, cooking and cleaning surfaces. I prefer using like normal kitchen tissue like this. So I noticed that we've run out of the kitchen tissue. Hi, surviving Fillmore. How are you? So this is a way of how, no matter how you are a good parent, they will still annoy you. I am, well, I am not 28. I'm way older than that. At least 12 years older than that. So I was cooking and I was like, oh, we've run out of kitchen tissue. So I said to them, like, oh, girls, can you guys come? On a normal day, the shop I really wanted them to go, it was about 6:30 that day. So the shop I really wanted them to go because it will have buy it in a bigger park. The shop closed at 5:30. So by the time I was asking them to go and get me the tissue, it was about 6:30. So I decided to ask them to go to the one that is close by, which is just like 10 minutes walk. So I said, guys, can you come? How are you doing today? I'm a new sub. I'm very well, thank you for asking. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. You are a new subscriber. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining my channel. So I said to them, guys, can you go to the shop and buy me kitchen tissue? So I was, in the kitchen, continued cooking. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Because while I was cooking, I was watching Netflix. And I was like, it's been 20 minutes. These kids have to ask me like, oh, Mom, can you give us a card or can you give us the money? So even at that, I was like, oh, maybe they've already left. And then they were going to call me to say, oh, Mom, do you want to transfer the money? I was still thinking that, oh, maybe they've already gone to the shop and that they would text me to send them money. And then half an hour, 35 minutes, there was no text. So I went to go and check in their room. And both of them were on their bed, on their phone. I was like, did you guys not hear me when I said you should come and go to the shop to buy me kitchen tissue? I was so mad. Hi. If we were to be in Nigeria, if that was in Nigeria, I would have given them proper beating. With this my left hand, I would have given them proper beating. I said, but I told you guys to come and go to the shop to go and buy me kitchen tissue. It's been 30 minutes. And they were looking at me and they were, I said, you know what? Don't bother. Don't go. And then I told them, if you know your names and what you are being called, let me see your hand in my pot of soup that I'm cooking. I told them, I said, see, that food that I'm cooking. In fact, that day I said, henceforth, when I cook, I don't want to see you serve yourself. I don't want to see you dish the food I cook. There's dry food in the house, so there's meat in the freezer, there's frozen meat in the freezer, do whatever. But when I have physically cooked that food, I don't want to see you bring your plate. Oh, I don't want to see you, serve yourself, because if you do, and I happen to find you there, I will take that food and dip it all over your head. Abu Bakri, welcome. Thank you so much for the compliment. That was how mad I was. And see what I said was what my mom would have told me if I was that age. Mm? I told them henceforth, how can you be 19 and 20? I am cooking. I'll come back from work. I'll come and be the one to cook. Or maybe I've been defrosting meat. And you don't think that, oh, mom has been defrosting this meat. Let me boil it, because that is what she would have wanted to do with this meat. Mind no. That I was so mad. I told them, like, come, see that food I'm cooking. And henceforth, when I cook, don't let me see, don't let me see you come dish this food. If I see you dish this food, hey, if I catch you there, there's a saying, beautiful women I be crazy. Well, I told them, if I see you dish that food and I catch you there, I will take that food and dip it all over your head. Because that was not how my mom raised me up. If my mom were to be cooking, I would be right beside her. Like I said, even if that spoon is in front of her like this, she would still call me. Oh yeah, Dupe, come on, give me that spoon. And I'll be thinking in my head that, but the spoon is in front of you now. Yes, I have a son. He does what I would have expected my girls to do all the time. He does it without me even asking. Male children are much easier to raise than female children. If any of you have got sons and daughters here, let me know in the comment section. Why did I say so? As long as boys are well fed, once boys eat, give them any duty, they will do it. And I remember when I had surgery and I was off work for like, can you make real jollof? Don't try my cooking skills, Selt. Please, please, Afiba and friend are they still? I don't understand your story question, Abu. So I shared a story of me, having my gallbladder removed, so I could not drive, I could not cook. Before I got discharged from hospital, my son was already texting me, Mom, do you want me to turn the heating on in your room in case your room is a bit cold before you get back? When I got back, he was the one asking me, Mom, is there anything you want me to make for you? Are you hungry? Or do you want me to order you McDonald's? He was the one coming to ask me what I want to be done. Mom, do you want a cup of tea? Mom, are you comfortable? Mom, are you sore? My two older daughters, none of them came to ask me that, Mom, what do you want me to cook for you? Yes, sons love their mom. Hence why I say that male children are much easier to raise than female children. It was my son. It was my son who was like, constantly, even when I come back from work, since I've been back from work now, he's come here to pop his head, like to check if I'm all right. My daughters know. Well, obviously they went out before I came back from work, and they came in. On a normal day, if my son goes out and he comes back and hears my voice, he will come in and say, oh, hello, Mom, that's me back. My daughters know. So sons are different to daughters. And being a mom to daughters and sons, I know. So yeah, I still carry them along. What I want what my daughters are doing, my son is doing it. There have been times that even though the food might not be like the way I want it to be, it will still offer me. Now I was asking them like, I said earlier that I'm hungry, that I need to eat something I've not eaten since I came back from work. That what can I snack on? I asked them, what are you guys cooking? They were like, we are cooking pasta and chicken. I'm like, guys, I'm not eating you guys' food, because it's not going to taste like the kind of hunger I have right now. There's nothing you guys cook that will quench that hunger, because the food not go sweet. Because the food will not be sweet. So yeah, male sons. But I wouldn't want. Looking back now, would I have wanted to have 5 sons? No, no. If you have 5 sons, you just be buying TV every day. You'll be buying furniture every day, because they will break it. They will turn everything to football. Only Mary said, "Hi, Only Mary, you are right. My 21 years old son helps me cook sometimes, and even goes to the market to shop for groceries, and also helps look." Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. If there was I don't know what I was doing. No, okay, I wanted to clean my hairs, and I was like, oh, there's no more cotton board. He offered to go to the shop to go and buy cotton board, and I'm like, no, don't worry. When I go out, I'll buy it on my way back because that shop is about 10 minutes. And I'm like, no, don't worry that when I go to work, I would. Bennett said, my dear sister is on both sides. Well, but in this my own case, well, with that being said, my last child is a girl, and she's just exactly like my boys. She's just exactly like my boys. She will cook. If she's doing anything, she will ask you that, Mom, do you want me to do something for you? So I don't know, maybe there's something with older girls, like if you are the oldest daughter or something like that. Trade with it, but when those 5 sons get older, they will take care of you. I know, but then the kind of sufferness that your face will see, the kind of sufferness you will see. You will come and ask, like, do people want to buy sons? If you want to buy sons, so come and buy these ones. At least I know of someone who has 3 boys. She's always complaining that the bed that I bought for them is not even up to 6 months. They've broken the bed. Do you know how many bunk bed me have bought? I went from wooden bunk bed to metal bunk bed. After metal bunk bed, I went back to wooden bunk bed. You know how many bed I bought? Even though I have 2 boys, you know how many bed? Well, in terms of TV, I did not give them TVs as a young child. It wasn't when they were maybe starting to, when they were in like maybe primary 5, primary 6. That was when they started having a TV in their room, because I know they were quite play. They were no, they were play. My boys were very, very playful as a child. Now they are much calmer, but when they play, even at that, I'm like, no, break the TV in your room. If you break it, you come and sit down in the living room. We all watch TV together. So yeah, that's just all I'm gonna say. That if you have children here, may God continue to help you as a parent, help me as well as a parent to to always lead them in the right direction, because nobody knows it all. Hi Adebowale, I'm just rounding up. So parenting is not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. And me, I'm sure I remember when I was much younger, I was never a troublesome child. I know that when my friends were raising me up, I was never a troublesome child. Maybe being a bit stubborn, and that was with my brothers, because I've got 2 older brothers. Me and my brothers, if we start, not with both of them, the middle one, my second brother, if I with the fight tire, even till tomorrow. With the fight tire, it's right from when we were younger. With the fight tire, with the fight. I've got 2 older brothers, I've got 2 younger sisters, so I'm the first daughter and the middle child. So when me and my brothers, but looking back, I know I was not a hard child I was not difficult to raise as a child. So I know that certainly. So may God help us as a parent. And if you've not had kids yet, think twice. Don't go and have 5. Don't go and have 5. Not even in this economy. Don't go and have 5. Okay, don't go and have 5. So those of us that have 5, may God continue to provide for us, and those of you that have less than 5, may God also continue to provide for us. As a parent, it's only God. There's no manual for parenting. Okay, there's no manual for parenting. And Trade with E said, my mom had 4 sons, so I know if you raise them right, you would not regret. They are cheaper as well. Yeah, boys are cheaper. You are right with that. Trade with E. Bennett said, remember, most of the aspirant students ask a different answer. Absolutely. But then Bennett, like I said, my oldest daughter, I gave birth to her in Nigeria. She was born in Nigeria. She's the one who is different from among my other children. She's the one who is most different in terms of attitude. She's soft-spoken. You look at her, she's soft. But my other 4, they are very, very, they are fierce. They are fierce. They are just like me, sharp wire. They say, gidigba, fight anytime. Bring it, we are ready. For her, you would think, looking at her, she's soft-spoken, calm, even the way she walks. And so I said that she's not streetwise. Tony T.I. said, my son is with her mom helping in the kitchen as to talk. The girls in their room doing their homework. Tony T.I., when they finish their homework, make sure they go and help your mom in the kitchen. Because most of that's how my daughter started. They'll be using homework to do excuse to cover face. And from the homework, they will pretend as if they fell asleep or they fall asleep. So when I go back there, they'll be like, they are sleeping with their books opened. That's how they do. So when they finish your homework, please make sure you go and get them out of the room to help your mom. So may God help us. Okay, may God help us. And I hope we all try and all this news, like, even though now the thing again that is on my mind, maybe that's going to be another video or another live stream. The thing again is dating. I don't think I'm ready for that phase yet for my children. Like I said, my two older girls are 19 and 20, and you all know children in this country. Some of them have boyfriends from the age of 12, 13, 14. Mine at 19 and 20, they've not brought a boy home. Okay, they've not showed me who is their boyfriend or anything like that. And I don't think I'm ready for that phase yet. Dating, you will never know. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not ready for that phase yet. And I pray to God that when they actually, if it's something they want to, I pray that they come to me and say, "Oh, mom, I want you to meet somebody." Yeah, they might be 19, 20, but I want to know the boy they're moving with. I want to know the boy they're moving with. That way, you'll be able to keep them in check. Not in check of maybe they're doing all the do's or anything like that. I've seen cases of where a girl went to meet a boy who happens to be a boyfriend, went there. The girl did you do with the boy. I don't even know if it was a young boy or a young adult. The young adult pied the girl, dissect her into small chunks, put her in a bag, and went to go and throw her body in the river. It was not until 4 weeks later that the river pushed the bag to the beach side. Police, they started investigating, even though they've already declared that girl missing. So they had to trace. Though police got involved, they started tracing this girl. They saw CCTV camera of where she went. They saw her go out with that boy on the bus. And then from what they were able to gather, it was that boy's house she went to. That boy pied her, and this was meant to be her boyfriend. So that story shocked me. This one happened in Scotland, and I shared it. I made sure that my daughters read it. So that's my fear. Hence why if any of them wants to start dating, I want to know who they are dating. I want to. Tori will say, I was dating a white woman who was 41 older than my mom, and she doesn't know. You get mine though. Kazim said, don't wait for them to come and meet you. It's true, Kazim, but then again, obviously, I tried once, and my oldest daughter just like, hey, mom, I'm an adult, I know what I'm doing. I'm an adult, I know what I'm doing. And then my second oldest, she's more like a tomboy, so I always tease her. Like, when I say something, she sounds, I'm like, oh, is it because now I have a boyfriend? That's why you're talking to me now. And she was like, mom, no, stop that now. What do you mean boyfriend? If I have a boyfriend, I'll tell you I don't have a boyfriend. So that way, I kind of like tease them that way once in a while. But it's what I will know. So like my son now, my son was talking to a girl. Maybe he's just being shy with me. He told his dad that, oh dad, I met this girl. I just met her, but we're just talking, we're just chatting. I mean, I was upset that, how come he came to tell you alone? How come he did not tell me? And my husband like, why are you kapasori be fan yaba? That at least he told him. And then at some point I'm like, well, he's a boy, so maybe he doesn't feel comfortable being that, oh, mom, I'm talking to a girl. That kind of thing. But I'm happy that, yes, he told his dad. So that is the same thing I want for my daughters as well. I want them to be able to approach either me or my husband and say, dad, I want you to meet my boyfriend. I'm trying, Kazim, all these children in this country, they don't, it's only the things they want you to know that they will tell you. They don't always, they like, hey, mom, you are infiltrating my privacy. I'm like, which privacy? In the house that we are paying rent? Maybe when you start paying rent, you can have your privacy, but as long as you're not paying rent, you don't have privacy. Tell me what is going on, So yeah, like I said, parenting it's not easy, and I'm at that stage of dating now, and I don't think I'm ready for that phase yet. I don't think I'm ready for that phase yet, but what I would want is for them to be able to tell me that, oh mom, I want you to meet my boyfriend, oh mom, I want you to meet my girlfriend. That is what I want, and it's just mainly for their safety. It's not really because I want to monitor what they do. No, so yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to round up now. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who have watched me, and I hope we've all learned from this live stream. And thank you to, I can't remember the name of the person who gave me a £2 super chat. Yeah, support my channel, guys. You can super chat me, and I've got a basket there where you can shop the product on my shop as well. So I'm going to read this comment from Amobi, and then we'll round up. Okay. Why? Because I do have a 27-year-old daughter that was born here, but today she's behaving so strange, which I can't understand, but always claim to be more of right or whatever she believes in. My oldest daughter is like that as well. Always claims right. And I've always said to her, I know I shout, and at some point I'm like, no, I'm not going to give up shouting. I'm still going to keep telling you that what you're doing is wrong. This is what you should have done. This is what you have done. And if you believe, though, they said experience is the best lesson. But then, what experience do you actually think would make that child learn? So as a parent, you won't stop. You just need to keep at it. What you're doing. Don't do this. If you do this, this is the possibility of what could be the outcome of what you're doing. careful. There's a reason why I'm warning you. There's a reason why I'm talking to you. We just keep, keep at it. Don't keep quiet. You just have to be prayerful as well. Okay, you just have to be very, very prayerful. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to round up now. Like I said, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, like this video, share as well, so others could learn from what we've discussed so far. And you can super chat me as well. Okay, somebody just gave me £2 there. You can do so on my channel as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to each and every one of you who have dropped a comment. I really appreciate you all. Thank you to those of you who are always coming back anytime I have a live stream. I appreciate you all. You mean everything. Exactly what me and my wife are doing. It will yield at some point, Bennett. It will yield. Just keep maybe doing it in a loving way. Like me now, at times I will get upset with my kids. See me now that I said that when I cook, they should not touch my food. How many days ago I cooked, and I know they were starving. As mothers, I know they are hungry. So I was like, oh guys, by the way, I cooked. If any of you fancy what I've cooked there, I've not even finished talking. My second oldest daughter already went into the kitchen, grabbed plates, was serving herself. So in a way, yeah, you might be upset with them. Maybe when you are now a bit calmer, find a way to warm your way back to them. Okay, so that way you are still telling them what they've done is wrong, and in a way you are scolding them to say what you've done is wrong. But then when you think they've realized what they've done, you can still go back in a way as a parent and say, what I'm speaking to you about, I just have to let you know I'm not happy, repeating myself or shouting, but I just make you understand that, as a parent, it's only your parent who knows the best. It's only your parents who have seen this world before you. So when I'm telling you this, it's because I don't want to I don't want you to make mistakes that other people have made, which they were not able to come back from. So me that I'm telling you this is me, so I'm learning. I'm learning, and this things I'm telling you, I'm learning it off my husband, because me, I'm Gbasgbo's mom. I shout, I scream, do all of that, and after shouting, I'll be like, my throat is sore now. I shouldn't have shouted. But I've seen the way my husband deals with them. He doesn't even have to shout. He doesn't even have to open his eyes. He pass across his message, and I notice that they behave or they make changes when my husband speaks to them, and they do that quicker as compared to me when I go with, this is that I'm your mother. This is that with my own. They'll probably be thinking that, why is she always shouting? Why is she always shouting? And at times I hear them in their room. Why is mom always shouting? I will just laugh to myself. So we just need to keep trying. We are their parents, and only God will help us. God will keep giving us that knowledge to be able to pass across what we know will benefit them. So that's my lasting word for you guys. So let's stay safe. Let's advise our kids on how to stay safe as well. And like I said, if anybody that's scamming you out there, please don't keep quiet. Speak to somebody about it. If you're in a place where you can speak to a police, or you can contact the police, let the police know. Speak to a neighbor, speak to a friend, speak to your friend's parents. There'll be somebody out there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Now let me go get something to eat and prepare for work tomorrow. And yeah, let's be back again tomorrow. There's another live stream. Go turn on your notification bell so you get notified. All right, and I shall see you all later. And thank you so much, each and every one of you. I really appreciate you all. Bye.